One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero. I'm the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Global. And wherever you are, we welcome you. And I hope it's a little warmer than it is. SoulCall is so cold today. But it's so much fun. Everybody, let people know you're here. There's one of these mornings, you know how we learn how to, hi Michelle from outside, how you learn how to stretch time. You can do these things. We can step out of time, space, and more fully into what we are and play with dimensional vibrational reality from different points of view, if you will, or just points of being is more accurate because it's not a sensory thing at all. But the point there is I got here later today than I ever arrived because I want to just give a shout out to everyone who sets up our beautiful space. Give yourselves it's wonderful to have wonderful volunteers who know what they're doing, know how to work together as a team, and we've got that times where it's like amplified in here, that joy and that goodness. If you'd like to be part of that, join us. But I just wanted to say thanks. But getting here like later than I've ever arrived, which was still relatively early compared to when we start, it was just one of these days where it's just super quiet and very still, and everybody's just seated and we were having a conversation. This is the first time in almost 3 years since we've been doing this that I've had the opportunity to just engage with everyone in the room in such a calm, relaxed way. And so it's perfect in that imperfect kind of way, the perfection of the universe as we co-create with it. But more than co-creating with it is to get out of the way and let it do what it needs to do through us. And so it created this opportunity that's going to segue perfectly into the talk this morning, which is going to be about focusing on the positive. Focus on the positive. And we're going to dive into some of the wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda Sri Aurobindo as he quotes from the Isa Upanishads, which is one of the verses in the Upanishad. And Isa is a Sanskrit word that means light, but it's the one that encompasses everything. And so we're going to talk about how when we just let it be, more cool things happen. See? We don't really have to do that much, but we do have to do some things. So in the words of Frank Sinatra, doobie 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 doobie. All right, thank you very much. So the comedy is free, and we thank you for joining us wherever you are. We're going to begin this morning, as we begin every morning, with hello Yolanda from South Africa. It's good to see you with us this morning, Beauty, who's just released an amazing book, and I think we're talking with her about doing something with Armature Publishing, so be on the lookout for her beautiful wisdom. Gorgeous, beautiful light. Funny that you pop in right when I say the word Isa, because you're such a beautiful light. As is everyone else. We're all these beautiful lights, but you're really a beautiful light. No, I'm just kidding. So we don't pick favorites, and just as we're talking about pulling in the light, we're going to bring in Sifu Halangi to take us through a practice of Qigong, which is traditional Chinese medicine. Welcome, Helen. In the house.
Oh, wow. We have such a fun energy group today. I love it.
Compared to last week. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, since we are in a fun kind of mood today, I really want to focus on our hands. And so what I want you to do, first exercise, is just tap your fingertips together in a rhythmic motion. It's okay if you miss every now and then. We're not perfect, but just kind of get that connection right there. Yeah. Feel it. Get into that rhythm, the beat. All right, and now I want you to kind of rub the fingernails on the top of each hand, kind of vigorously get that energy moving. Yeah, that's right. Good.
Energy?
Huh? Energy? Yes, energy.
Energy.
And now from here, I want you to go ahead and kind of massage the Lao Gong points. I know that you've heard me talk about this point. It's a very important point. It also connects to the pericardium, which is the sac around the heart. So it's a very good heart point there, okay? And then use the other hand. Go ahead and really massage in there. Get it really deep in there, okay? Very good. You guys are looking good there. And then from here, hitting the outside ridge of the hand. And now the base of the thumbs, base of the palms, and now using the back of your hand and hitting the other side of the hand. And now switching. All right, there we go. Okay, from here, I want you to go ahead and allow gongs to face one another and try to keep that connection through this exercise. So from here, just really, again, engaging your mind and start to see and visualize a light growing brightly between your hands. Okay. And then you're going to now, breathing in, expanding the ball of chi. And then as you exhale, you're going to compress the hands closer, contracting the abdomen. Inhaling and exhaling, bringing the palms closer, the laogong's closer. Let's do a couple more times. Inhaling, making the chi ball a bit bigger, growing. Don't forget to exhale. And inhale. Really synchronize your breathing pattern with the movement of the palms. If you need to close your eyes to really visualize that chi ball getting brighter and more powerful, expanding it further, allowing it to grow between the palms. And now rotating the ball and pulsating on the chi ball. As you rotate, continue to see with your mind's vision all that chi between the hands. You may feel it as electricity or tingling or a sense of vibration, movement, or even warmth. And then now from here, really center that ball of chi between the palms and slowly guide it into the lower dantian. Feel it coming into the body, absorbing in, collecting it into the lower dantian, storing it, and also allowing that chi to mingle with your inner prenatal chi, building up the vitality, the immune system, and all the systems of the body, bringing the hands to the side and relaxing the shoulders, the elbows, the hands. Continue to feel that sensation. Stay connected with it as long as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen. And just taking that energy, we're going to go into a meditation. Just allowing yourselves to feel, if you have a meditation posture you appreciate. A good one is having both feet on the floor if you're comfortable like that, just allowing the currents from the earth to balance positive, negative charge, to find that central balance point. And palms turned upward at the juncture of the thighs and the abdomen, just receptivity mode from those lao gongs. I call them alao gongs sometimes. Just allowing yourself to feel the energy. And Jesse Powers is going to take us into a meditation.
I am enough. I have enough. I do enough.
moment. Open to you, O infinite divine beloved. Divine light. As we sit in the silence, in the pureness of the stillness, awaken within us conscious will, conscious health, conscious vitality, and conscious realization. We ask, O eternal youth of body and mind, live with us, inside of us, forever and forever, and in no time at all. Open our hearts wide, that we realize in our doing, we express the true being of our divine nature. Allow us to tap into that more readily right now, as we turn within, turning off all the searchlights outwardly and just turning them in for just a moment of silent meditation. Give great thanks for all that is positive that we can see in our lives in this moment. The more we focus on the positive, the more of it we see. The more joy we focus on, the more joy we experience. As within, so without. Believing is seeing. Seeing is believing. It's the yin-yang. If you're not seeing it, start believing it first. Help us to see. Improve our being, O infinite. Strengthen us in love, in love, in this force field of love. May we be a divine, sparkling particle, a magnet for joy. Om Shanti. Amen. And so be it.
I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. And I am loved. I am enough.
talking about thinking positively today. Maybe not thinking positively, but welcoming the positive, maybe. Is that right? It's not just about thinking, you know. Keep that in mind. Or don't, because it's not about thinking. Here we go. Sometimes it feels like my heart is stuck in a revolving door. It can get me down so much. I don't even want to mess with it anymore. Oh, that too familiar feeling. Oh, I know it well, but I don't let it get too far. Too good at staying cool now. Yes, I am learning the art, and I'm getting good at letting go. Yeah, I'm getting good at giving it over, cause I know it ain't in my hands. So I'm getting good at letting go. Yeah, getting good at giving it over, cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got shadow comes creeping in like a thief from my past. I turn on the light by remembering only my soul knows my path. And I'm getting good at letting go, yeah, getting good at giving it over, cause I know it ain't in my hands. I'm getting good at letting go, yeah, getting good at giving it over, cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned. And I am unburdened, yes I am free when I breathe. If I just keep trusting, if I keep the faith, I know I'll see when I let go. And I know when I let go. And I know that my soul's always God. Yes, my soul's always God. Oh, my soul's always got something better planned. Yeah. Something better is always coming along. So even if you see things that are kind of negative, you'll know it's because something better's coming.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Good night. Jessie Powers, is she amazing? Jessie, I always get so excited when you're going to be here. It's just like, it's so much fun. Just the joy gets amplified, doesn't it? Yes. Talk about something better. Woohoo! Thank you for being with us this morning. Yeah, focus on the positive, even if something negative seems to be in the vibe. You know, so we're talking about this month of November. Our theme for the month was kindness, and it still is. How to focus on the positive can help us to be kind. Because in fact, this realization will start to happen where nothing is against us. There's no such thing as me and you and this and that. And those are constructs of this material world that we participate in. But when we see it from the material world with our senses, we'll never truly get the truth of the truth, the real of what's real. And it's not supposed to be found that way. It's important that we have our differences. If everybody were Jessie, that'd be kind of great. He had an analogy.
That would not be great for me.
You know, this Jazz Up the Holidays, you will have a 7-piece band there. If everybody played the bass, it would be 7 basses. Not that that's bad, but it's just does not a band make, you know? So it's nice to have the contrast. You could call it contrast or you could call it the complement of a different idea. Either you can see it as different, or you can see it as an augmentation of something that is already existing that can just become amplified. Where two or more are gathered, it says, in my name, there am I in your midst. And it doesn't just mean two people. It means two human beings who become fully alive and tuning in to that thing that is beyond our limited habitual patterned thinking. So right before we started, I was jokingly saying, you know, part of the reason I was a little bit later than usual is what happens on Sunday morning. This is my Sunday morning. I'm going to invite you into my home for a minute and tell you what it's like. No, I'll start, you know, just changing some things and opening up to what the talk is going to be. And I never follow my notes. You all know this. Like, I write them down. That's nice. Is there something here? But I said I become this ventriloquist dummy for the cosmos. It's going to be the name of the new book, I think, right? I think you like that one. Ventriloquist dummy for God. That's me. And why is that interesting? It's interesting and it's fun because it never runs out of ways to express itself. Once you listen and tune into it, it gives you more and more and more. You could say it like this, or you could do it like that, or you could sing it like that, or you can. It just, once it knows you're listening, it's God's great pleasure to give you the kingdom. It gives you all of it, not just a piece. It's how much can you take? How much can you take? And the more you expand in your consciousness, this is where Rumi talks about that annihilation factor. You're gone. You're gone. And you've never been more present in your entire life. So, you know, the whole Hindu philosophy is kind of hinged on the premise of presence. It's always about becoming more present, more present, more present. And in becoming more present, we become more full and more of a representation of spirit. Less of me, more of thee. And it's not a thee outside of me, it's a more of thee. Come through me. Come through me. You know, heading into Thanksgiving week, I wanted to make the talk around focusing on the positive. Because sometimes we're going to be going into, I remember this Tom and Jerry cartoon a long, long time ago. It was an award-winning cartoon, which is why I remember it. The cartoonists created this little battlefield on the Thanksgiving table between two little mice. And they were dressed up like, some of them grabbed the little fake pilgrim outfits off of the littles, and they were like that, and they were fighting, and then one of them turned around and pulled a little fake sword out of like a rolled up, you know, hors d'oeuvre, and then they started, and I thought, how fun would it be, you know, a little battlefield on the Thanksgiving table is hilarious, except when it becomes a real battlefield with words. Do you remember last year, I think the saying, I said to just go into when somebody's gonna push your button at the Thanksgiving table, your response is just, pass the gravy. Cover it over with something yummy, and you'll work it off later. Just take a couple laps around the block. Don't take it on, though. Don't take it into your bubble. So I'm going to talk about, if you could envision yourselves, because this is actually the truth of it, as a particle moving through the wave of vibrational consciousness. There are certain things that vibrate to a certain frequency that keep us intact. All right, we need to have certain vibrations on the planet to keep our human form together. But the more we can pull in the light into our bubble and truth, you know, you can spread yourself out a little bit. You won't be so dense. Did anybody ever say that to you? Why are you so dense? I hope not. But the point there is to make ourselves become more porous in nature. You've heard me say this before. But to practice the presence, become more porous. Don't believe you are this thing that can be hurt with words or ideas that are counter to what you believe in your innermost being. I believe we're all connected. I have evidence of that. I love people. In spite of the times they hurt us, we're human. We don't like to be hurt. But that doesn't mean, to be hurt doesn't mean you should hate. You can't hate anything and be connected to that spirit. So I'm going to say it in the words of Sri Aurobindo, who was a Hindu poet, philosopher in Pondicherry, India. He's got an ashram there with the help of Mother Meera. You might have heard of her. So this was in the 1850s. He started his practice. He used to be a civil servant in India and got out of politics because he realized that's not where it's at. Philosophy and the cosmos is what really can materialize change. Politics is one thing. So he got out of that and he started to write this thing. And this is his version of the Upanishads, which is ancient, like maybe written in the 1st century BCE, old wisdom. And he says, all this, whatever exists in this changing universe, should be covered by the Lord, he says, the infinite. Protect the self by renunciation. Lust not after any other's wealth. Wealth could show up in many different ways. It doesn't only just mean money. It could be something you think you need to have that somebody else has. Just by virtue of the idea that you want something somebody else has, you create this lack mentality in your bubble where there's only a few of them and they have it, I want it. I was thinking about this morning, and it's harmless, it seems, but it just sends out a little ripple of a vibration when somebody has something amazing happen in their lives, and somebody will just, instead of saying, I'm so happy for you, they're so happy for you, might say, some people I've heard them say, oh my God, I'm so jealous. Have you ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that. Don't be jealous. Just let them be the one who set the bar for your consciousness of what's possible. And say, yeah, right on the mark. That is for me. Not that will be mine. That doesn't have to be yours. There's plenty of that, is the point. If it strikes you as, wow, I would like to have that, take it into the laboratory of your life and into your consciousness and ascertain what this ingredient in your life is going to bring. And if the answer is not lasting happiness, go to sleep on it, wake up the next morning and decide, how badly do I really need this thing? Because this is that capital T truth, is the lasting happiness. Is this going to bring lasting happiness? How many times have you gotten a thing that you thought was just going to make you? How many? Every once in a while? Yeah. No, I've never gotten anything. So then he goes on to say, this is like the second verse in the Isa Upanishad, which is the verse of light in the whole, I think there are like 27 verses or more in the Upanishads, which makes up the Mahabharata. It's like 3 divinely inspired books which constitute the Hindu philosophy. The Bhagavad Gita is also one. But he says, the wise man beholds all beings in the self, and the self in all beings. For that reason, he, she, they does not hate anyone. Get it? So if we can imagine ourselves, just imagine everywhere you go that you are in a divine bubble, you are a particle floating in a bubble of light with positive thoughts. Everything is positive. You are a positive particle charged with cosmic intelligence and life as you move through the love force of consciousness, floating on a divine idea of the infinite. Always, this is the truth. Things can become introduced to us that we can either say yes to or no to. But if we keep our focus on the positive, and if you're not sure what that is in any given moment, send love. If anybody out there is a nutritionist, the triage vitamin is vitamin C. Like, if you take enough vitamin C, it'll fill in where other things are missing, for the most part. You know, not 100%, but pretty much. It'll fill in E and other things. But the triage for your consciousness is, if you're not sure what positive is, resort to love. And you'll find your way through it. So, dinner conversations at Thanksgiving or any other time, if they get a little challenging, just send love. And sometimes love is completely silent, most of the time. So another idea with this focusing on the positive, like, did you ever have something come into your life and you think, what in the world? I don't even think like this. How did this happen to me? Do you ever think, how did this happen, or why did this happen to me? I don't get it. That is a clue of letting you know that you're not in complete control of your mind sometimes. And it's not all mind. But what I'm saying is where you put your focus you're going to get more of that. And if you're not sure what's coming in, you can be sure that your subconscious is in the driver's seat. This is why I love the exercise we did today. I'm just going to put it together for you. This is not a blame statement. This is not a, I brought this on myself statement. It's not, because the infinite gives us things that we need to keep us moving. It's important that we keep moving. Sometimes, do you ever get rocked out of your comfort zone? Get shot out of a cannon, as I like to say? Me too. Lots of times, especially when I get really comfortable in a space. That's when I start going, don't get too comfortable. You know, I start trying to figure out new ways of doing things before the universe helps me out with that. It's like, so, but always knowing that we're held in the divine truth and love is always guiding the way. You'll go anywhere. As long as the infinite, as long as I know you're there and I can feel it, I'll do my part to keep my channel clear. But please keep sending the radio messages, send that music, send that love. I'll do my part. My 25% perhaps is to stay tuned for more goodness ahead. That's our part. Sometimes it might seem like that's not very positive. Then again, make your go-to love. Your default, we idle on love. Just say, I idle on love.
I idle on love.
I idle on love.
I idle on love.
Because when in doubt, you can just, again, it's the triage emotion, feeling. It's the force. There's nothing greater than love. And it'll know what to do. If you send love, it'll show up as it needs to. And you'll be amazed at when we express love through our eyes, how it just gets there without words. You can just keep, somebody could be saying something and you could just focus on your heart and just keep sending love. Steady. Nobody can stand in the face of that and hold on to whatever it is they really want to let go of too. And sometimes it happens that we're put in a position because we're the ones that can hold the space of love, really, and bring love to the equation. Sometimes something's brought in so that we could be the ones to offer clarity without a word, just our presence. The Hindus' idea of connection, poised presence, possibilities, all these P words. PPP money, PPP consciousness. We can get help when things get tough. So thinking about this bubble, a tiny bubble of laughter, Yogananda says, has become the sea of mirth itself. When we can dissipate, so that, you ever hear the saying, don't let somebody burst your bubble? Don't let them burst your bubble, because it's really a real thing. We are traveling in this bubble of light. So Helen helped us to create a chi ball today in our hands. And one of the reasons I asked her to do that specifically for us, not only because she's a Qigong master and she can, but because we're all not Qigong masters and we can too. Did you feel it? It's this practicing the presence. And so recognizing that we can feel this energy, allow ourselves, just as she put it into our dantian, when you push it in, feel yourself expand out with this light, with this goodness, with this positive charge. And focus, like when I was saying, the allow gongs, you can direct this energy through your hands, through your eyes, through your words, through your thoughts, through your breath. If we're always in light and charging our bubble with more light, more light, more light, from that overflow, we can express more of it. So we talk about, I know in the thought movements on the planet where they really home in on helping people understand their thinking and how they constructed that and how to let it go. Meditation is the quickest way to spread that out and let it go. However, the Buddhists talk about, following the thoughts, and it's like, no, they could be endless sometimes, right? But if you just follow one thought that leads you to the surrender of the little mind into the big mind. But learning that, if you say, I want to impress, I put out my thought and I put this impress out into the world and it comes back to me, right? In order to impress, we have to express, right? And in order to express, it implies that something from within is coming out. So I'm inviting you to, with this work on the hands, feeling the energy, recognize that you're feeling and fueling life force. And you, in fact, it's a subtle vibration that you can send out with mind's intention. Where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? And if we focus on the positive, we'll pull more of that towards us. We become not just a particle, we actually become a magnet, charged with divinity that just, it's always, whatever it is, if it comes to me, we become like a cosmic Tai Chi master of consciousness. It can come in like this. We take the energy of the universe and transform it and send it back as something else, you know? For that reason, and Helen could correct me if I'm wrong, but I've read this many times and I've practiced it myself, but Tai Chi masters, the book of the Tao says that which is forgiving is most powerful. You're using other people's energy. If they send you this, like Michelle Obama and anybody watch that new thing, they go low, we go high. If you give me this, I could just step out of the way and like do that and put you on the ground like self-defense. You're using the other person's energy. If they come at you with this, take that energy, Tai Chi it into love and send it back. And just watch what happens. There's nothing that can stand in the face of love that is more powerful, not one thing. So we become these little transformers when we focus on the positive. Yeah. I am a transformative bubble of light. Yeah, transforming everything into love. Yeah, just think about it. You know, I've never called a group of people so many names in my life. I've called you a lot of things this morning, and you're still here. So whatever. But the key to it is to seek that which is lasting and that which is really, really true. So this being and doing relationship. So we talk about the Atman, which is the spirit or the soul in Hindu philosophy. The Atman is the true self. Rumi would say, little by little, the non-beings are being gone, and little by little, the true beings are coming. It doesn't mean it's somebody else coming, and we're all gonna, it means within us. If we accept the first part of this, that we are the universe and everything and everyone is inside of us, and we are inside of everyone, we're all the same thing. It doesn't mean some point in time, which is not real, that's an idea. It means the point in time is gonna be when we step in and become fully realized and become more of the Atman and less of the ego, which we're not going to kill the ego. There's none of that. It's using the ego and listing it in service to the soul, in service to the Atman, the true being. Then people will become impressed with our expression, right? Because it's just pure love. They'll just want to be around you. They won't even know why. You just step into a room and it's just like, who's that lady? They just want to get right up in there. You know what I mean? It's like, what is that? What is going on over there? So you've got to see it to be it. Create that vision of yourself as a floating transformer. And I say floating because you can guide your feet, but allow yourself to float with wherever the infinite wants for you to be. Put your direction on God, Goddess, Source. Put all of your eggs in that basket of cosmic consciousness, 100% tuned into the dial of cosmic intelligence, cosmic love more than any of it, and let it move you. You'll know what to do, especially when you don't know what to do. You'll be doing more of the cool things. When how many times have you ever experienced where you just don't? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, shoom, right? Then something amazing happens.
Yeah.
Something amazing happens. I don't know. That's my new favorite. I have no idea. And I was like, all right, no. Yeah. But you can count on it. You can count on it. Like the sun and the moon. You can count on it. Like it's something that'll just keep, it is as constant as the beautiful sun. Yeah, and it shows up with all the colors of life, like the sun. You know, it's the reflection, it's the interplay between the sun and everything that it shines on that creates all the colors. We're all wearing different, no we're not, we're all light. But it's the interaction between these things. So that's why all these different particles, all of us are different expressions of, because we get more colors. I mean, who wears the same color all the time? Oh, nobody. I wear blue all the time. So to the seer, all things have verily become the capital S self. To the seer, S-E-E-R. All things have verily become the self. What delusion, what sorrow can there be for him, her, they, who behold that oneness? It's impossible. It moves, this is my favorite part, it moves and moves not. It is far and likewise near. It is inside all this. It is outside all this. You can't escape it. It's just, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Hold on, there's one here that I might have to get the book for. Oh, here it is, yeah. That non-dual Atman. This is my favorite one of the Isa Upanishad, this verse of the Upanishads. That non-dual Atman, the balanced one who sees everything as in, out, up, down, though never stirring, is swifter than the mind. I'm going to say that again. That non-dual Atman, though never stirring, is swifter than the mind. The senses cannot reach it, for it moves ever in front. Get it? Though standing still, it overtakes others who are running. Yeah. You can't get away from it. Everybody's like,
Stalker.
though standing still, it overtakes others who are running. Because of Atman, because divine soul, the world soul apportions the activities of all. So you are invited to this divine expression, this divine dance, this cosmic dream, this particle, magnet, bubble. Be this bubble of joy, this bubble of divine laughter, and allow it to come from deep within, turning off the senses, so putting our focus on the positive. The more we focus on the inside, the more we see God everywhere. It becomes, and you totally become like somebody who's lost their mind, because you kind of have. All those old ideas are just gone, and you see it everywhere. People just laugh like a loon. Because it's like, how did I, you'll think of, or it'll show you 1,000 ways that it can express itself. Look over there, now I'm this, now I'm this, now I'm that. And it's all of it at the same time, you see? It doesn't take turns. We're sitting in a room here and streaming with you wherever you're sitting. And even if you're watching us later, we were all here, but we're everywhere. Right now, then, 5 minutes ago, we're everything all the time. Life in the fast lane, isn't that a line? Everything, all the time. You are, you're it. Always. And ours is to remember and put our focus on the positive. And when you can't see the positive with empirical, information, that is the universe, the goddess, God, source, the love of the universe, the force field, saying, you gotta beef up your bubble, turn back in and pull in that light, pull in that chi light, pull it in. E.T. said, turn on your heart light, right? Let it shine wherever you go. It's just, it's truly that simple. We are the ones that complicate with ideas that we think we're supposed to follow in order to live the good life. Live the love life and watch all of that fall away. So my invitation in focusing on the positive is to burst out your bubble, bust it up as far as you can go, blow it up, and don't let anyone burst your bubble. Focus on the positive. Thank you.
Well, as usual, that was amazing. And there were a couple songs going through my mind as I was sitting there, but I think this one's good.
Anyone you want.
It's about accepting your joy.
Sunshine on my face and the day is made of magic. Sometimes I still find a way to make
say thank you very much for noticing. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, so here at Soul Call Sunday, I want to thank you all for joining us. If you're live with us or if you're tuning in later, we thank you so much for being part of our beloved global community. Once again, I want to thank Jesse Powers for being here with us. Is it December 19th?
December 19th, which thing?
When are you coming back here?
Oh, the 20th. I think it's the 20th.
Anyhow, third week in December or something, Jesse will be back. So if you want to be in the house, you got to feel it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sifu Helen Yi. And all right. So chi bubbles for joy. I am a chi bubble for God.
Chi bubble.
Yeah, somebody coming at you with a hateful tone. If you say that to them, I mean, they won't know what to do with that. It's like, okay, honey. So I want to say happy Thanksgiving. Start a journal, if you will, maybe a mental journal of all the things you're grateful for, all the things that are positive in your life, the things you would say, yes, more please, like more potatoes, more sweet potatoes, more gravy, whatever it is. This time of Thanksgiving, just focus on abundance and look in your life for evidence of all of the abundance that shows up. And you can start with the sun if you have to, and then just draw it back from there. But you'll see, I mean, if you've got more than one pair of jeans, got more than one pair of shoes, you can start with all of these things. We can always find something, and it might not always be material. I've got an abundance of love in my heart, and it's my most treasured thing. Whatever it is for you, focus on it. Harness the power of your mind, and allow the subconscious mind to stretch and release what it's doing while you remain single-pointedly focused on the infinite, the God of all, the creator, the goddess of everything, which is all of everything. I'm going to start a second talk here. What I want to say mostly is thank you for your contributions. They help us to bring beautiful artists like Jesse in. It helps us to maintain our space and our consciousness and our presence in the world. So no amount is too big or too small. I know we're getting toward the end of the year. If you got an overflow of money and you don't know what to do with it, we can help you with that. Have your bubble talk to my bubble. And we can help you spread the joy in other people's lives. We are in the process of doing a capital drive for our own place so that we can start doing more of the good work with children and single moms and things like that. With bringing them creativity and the arts. So you'll want to be at our New Year's meeting where we roll out some of these ideas and some of the things we're doing. But your contributions go a very long way. So I mean with all sincerity, thank you for your contributions. And yes, we accept more, and thank you for that too. soulcallglobal.org/donate. If you're in need of prayer, our prayer team's connected to the Healing Arts team, and Candy's here, and we've got a whole, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there. A lot of us are on the prayer team. If you have challenges, or you know someone who's experiencing a challenge in body, mind, or spirit, allow us to pray with you and for you. And Jim and Linda are in the house today too. If you want to have a 5-second reading, it's just like bam. Take advantage of that opportunity. We had so much fun at Kirtan last week. We don't have a graphic for this yet, Aiden. I'm just bringing this on everybody. But the solstice, December 31st, falls on our Kirtan Wednesday. So out at the Dempsey Event Center, we're going to do a special solstice Kirtan and celebration. So take a nap. Just come and we'll be dancing in the moonlight. Come on out to the Dempsey and chant with us and celebrate the solstice and the holiday of bringing in the light on the darkest day when we transition into the light. It's going to be magical. My head's tingling as I'm saying it. So you're going to want to do that. There's more information on the website. But coming right up on November the 30th, what's happening? Yeah. It's our 19th annual Jazz Up the Holidays. If you start something when you're 12, you'll still be alive to do it a long time. No, it's our 19th annual Jazz Up the Holidays. We're going to be doing it live and in person here at the McConnell Arts Center in Worthington, Ohio, which is Columbus. Get your tickets. Please spread the word. We've got about 70 seats left, so if we can really crank it up, the more we make on this event, all of it goes to the charities. And we want to thank Mancini's Bakery for being our legacy sponsor again this year. They've been with me for decades before this, but yeah, let's hear from Mancini. And their food is so good. You can order their bread and they'll deliver it right to your house. Yeah. So November 30th, tickets are at SoulCallGlobal.org. You could be in the house or you can live stream it. And so same amount of money. If you want to donate more, you can put as much in that link as you would like to. And we say thank you so much for that. We're going to be working, SoulCall Global is going to be donating art supplies and music to families and people in shelters. We're also partnered with an organization called Motherful, which was founded by single moms, and it benefits single moms. So we're going to be part of distributing lots of different things to over 300 families that they work with. So for more about them, and we're also going to send off at least $500 to the Humane Society of Delaware County. So we're helping our furry friends too. More information about all of those will be in the newsletter and also on our website, soulcallglobal.org. So anybody wants specific information, check that out. And we thank you for spreading the word. Jazz Up the Holidays. So all of the proceeds from Jazz Up the Holidays, as it's always been, goes right to our charities. So you need to know that, and we thank you. Yeah, isn't that cool? So for every dollar you send to us, I just want you to know how much of a difference you're making in the lives of so many people. Our food drives, I mean, when we do those, homeless people, but also people who are just trying to struggle now with inflation and everything else, just trying to get food on the table. I could tell you big, long stories about that, but I'll save it for next week. About that. A long, long time, I'll tell you another story. But I want to thank Aiden behind the scenes there.
Yeah, Aiden.
We should call him Aiden and Abetten, because he helps us. He helps us to do. He helps us to do this every week. I want to say thank you to you most of all for the work you're doing in consciousness, as it materializes in form. So in our being has to transfer into doing. Doing with the awareness of presence and being. You are changing the world one person at a time. That non-beings, the true beings are coming. That's you. The you beings. The me and you bubble beings. So I send you so much love and light every day in my prayers, and I know we send it out into the world. And remember, wherever you are, you want to say it with me? Yes. You are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love.